Obviously, Trump is still doing his bidding with these state houses and state senates and um, governors' mansions to try to rig the system. Kudos to Indiana for saying you. Kudos to California for saying we're going to fight back. Definitely kudos to the Trump justice who wrote the 160-page opinion denouncing what took place in Texas. And you to the Supreme Court for what they did. Okay, this is a good question. November is only months away. What is the strategy to win back Congress so that actions like this invasion can be checked? So, again, obviously Trump is still doing his bidding with these state houses and state senates and um, governors' mansions to try to rig the system. Kudos to Indiana for saying you. Kudos to California for saying we're going to fight back. Definitely kudos to the Trump justice who wrote the 160-page opinion denouncing what took place in Texas. And you to the Supreme Court for what they did. As well as, we'll see what happens in some other places. We are swinging seats no less than 10 points around the country since he has taken office. So what's happened is I honestly think there are seats in Texas that are in play that typically would not have been in play because of the way that they drew the lines. So if there is a seat that went for Trump by 10 points or less, in my estimation, it is in play. And as they have played these crazy lines all over the country, North Carolina included, trying to give him yet another seat after North Carolina is the reason we don't control the House in the first place. I think that they're drawing those seats too tight. So I think that what's going to happen is they're going to be in for a rude awakening. I stand with Pelosi as Speaker Emerita has stated over and over and over. She believes that the Democrats are going to take the House. I think so too. This can't just be a belief though. We got to do the work. So we got to get out there. We got to talk to our friends. We got to talk to our neighbors. We got to explain to them why they personally may not have a job right now, why personally their wages may be stagnant, why personally they may not be able to afford health care, why personally their loved ones who were historically in, say, a nursing facility is now going to have to come and live with them because there's no funding that is available for them. They now are going to have to have conversations with those people that are losing their small businesses, even those at the big businesses. We saw what happened with Tyson in Nebraska. We're going to have conversations with those small towns where these manufacturing locations are shutting down or where they were supposed to open up and they're just not going to open. We're going to have to get very real about the fact that there are so many people that always want to say things like, I don't do politics. And as my sorority sister, the incomparable state representative, Tony Rose, always says, you may not do politics, but politics will do you. We're going to have these real conversations. And if you have a service member who is a loved one, an uncle, an auntie, a sister, a cousin, a mother, a father, we need to talk about the fact that our foreign relations and our relationships are all jacked up, is like putting them at risk. Right now, every single day that he is in office, these service members are being put at risk. Mind you, this is the same administration that decided that it wanted to try to threaten sitting members of the House and the Senate, and they decided they wanted to go after Mark Kelly specifically because they literally just wanted to recite what it is that service members are not supposed to do. This is like written. So like, I just like, I don't know how to convince people that some things are bigger than a political affiliation. And right now, if we can't convince people in this country that it is bigger than a political affiliation, because the last time I checked, this is not the party that is pro-life. We know that when they illegally cut off funding for USAID, that has cost hundreds of thousands of lives. We know that for the first time, at least that I've been in Congress, we had our Congressional Budget Office, also known as the CBO, trying to predict how many deaths were going to come as a result of the big ugly bill. We also know that we have seen constant reporting around the fact that women are losing their lives in record numbers because of their policies and what they push forward with this insane and terrible Supreme Court as it relates to reproductive access. So, like, I just want to be clear, people are dying. Not to mention, we have a record number of deaths of people that have been in ICE custody, record numbers for last year. Not to mention, when we're looking at our farmers and ranchers, we are experiencing record numbers of suicides by them right now, as they are also experiencing record numbers of bankruptcies. Listen, there is some bullshit for everybody. And so, like, to me, it's just time out for playing games. Like, this ain't about whether or not the next politician is going to be your bestie. This isn't about whether or not the next politician excites you, the most and gets you all jazzed. What this needs to be about is whether or not you believe this politician gives a damn as to whether or not you live, as to whether or not there is going to be a country where your children and your grandchildren can live and thrive. This isn't about finding the perfect person. This is about finding people that actually have courage to do what is right. And when I said people, like, I mean that. Like, I do not agree with Thomas Massey on a lot of things. I do not. Like, I don't want to put it out there that we do. But at the same time, this motherfucker got a backbone. Like, he stands for what he believes in, and he doesn't fold no matter who you are. So, like, I don't know. It's gonna take doing more than kind of like, oh, I did my part and I went about it. Like, you need to find that candidate that you're like, you know what, I believe in you. So I'm going to make sure that I go knock some doors. I'm gonna make sure I send some text messages, make some phone calls. And if I got a little extra $5, $10, I'm gonna send it off to you, because granted, while I love to go and have happy hour, I'm gonna need to go ahead and sacrifice this happy hour for this, because it's bigger than that. It is so hard for me to understand how we got here. But more importantly, it is so hard for me to conceptualize if we can't save us. Like, that would be the most disappointing part. Now, let me tell you, currently, if we're looking at the trends of the elections, we are doing good. We are absolutely doing good. But we cannot afford to get comfortable whatsoever. And we have to keep up this energy. We have to remain focused and not be distracted by all of the bullshit that they will throw out there. They're going to do everything that they can to distract and divide, because distraction and division is how we ended up in this mess. I'm going to need people to be laser focused. And if anybody starts to get distracted or divided over bullshit, I'm going to need you to remind them, whatever that distraction or division is, that we are all in a sinking ship right now. And if we don't decide that we are going to start to collectively get this water out of the boat, then we all are going down, regardless of where you stand on, oh, well, I'm a Christian. I am too, boo. And my Bible don't say that none of this is right. That's just what it is. I'm just saying. So I don't want us to get caught up in that, because this man knows nothing about the Bible anyway. So I don't even understand how Christian evangelicals decided that this was their guy. I really don't.